I just had a thought that I had wanted to share. I thought I did on a different video, and I probably didn't. Um, but while I was sitting here thinking about it, I was like, let me just say it. So like the other day, I was like laughing at myself because I'm like, hey, we ain't gonna just like pick no losing team, no losing side, no losing story, not forever. Like at the end of the day, we gotta win. Like I'm a damn winner. I've been winning all the damn bucket shots and jump shots and three shots and half court shots and shit. LeBron been out there on the court and my ass been out here in life. And yeah, I can say every time, like every triple double he shooting, every like all that shit be mine. Representative of me out here. And even though I ain't follow Kobe for real, you can't, but I guess I can say Steph because like Steph be dominating the court too. And whatever. Like we want to do basketball, and I was like the ankle breaker, like AI, and whatever. Like you got Campy Russell and all of them that just kind of they went in and played the game and made their contributions and it moved over into another part of it when life got them to the play they couldn't play no more. And I don't know. This is a sidebar, but it's like so much about entertainment that's been like floating in my head. Like, man, we've been spending all this time and energy on this, like to play in makeup and costumes and fucking mediocre ass wardrobes and worlds of make pretend for a very, very select few, while the rest of us like I don't know. I mean, I guess I get it sometimes where I'm like, okay, like if you needed that much money to make a movie, I guess, like you want it to be all good production and all that, and like, hey man, I ain't really got time to spend my brain capacity on that because that's what's selling. Like everybody got to be on their phone or in their house, and like every year, I guess I don't know. I went to one Black Friday thing like when I was younger with my foster mom and my foster sister and my foster aunt, and I probably was in my 20s earlier, on the earlier side probably, because I ain't really do Christmas for real, but I would go over at that point in time. I was still participating as much as I was gonna participate. um and when I stopped like eating anything that anybody else ate, it was kind of like a wrap for real. um I mean, yeah, I still would go over for food and entertainment, but like what I could really have and how I could. Then it's like, oh, I have to ask all the basic questions of like, what got immediate in, what don't, what, like, oh my gosh. But anywho, just like I went for a Black Friday once, and I was in the store, and I'm not even a huge like shopper for real. Not and like the stuff that like people really be wanting to do. So, but I went. That shit was overrated quick. Like, and this was like one of their earlier years. Or did I go with them or did I go by myself? I don't remember, but it was like when they used to go all the time, like all the time. I used to be like, I went, I was like, hey, I don't really understand the point of this. Like, it ain't really a big enough sale for me. And even if it is on the select items, like by the time people was like, oh no, the chaos and the like, fuck that. That was not and nothing I wanted. And I don't even like waste my money. But anywho, I'm going off because I'm just like all this stuff that we do. on slash unquote entertainment, edutainment, education, entertain. Like, we just keep selling this repackaged. Like, when is the fucking expiration date? Like a pack of ramen noodles that ain't got no nutritional value. Like, I just want to cry. I just want to cry so bad. I'm just like, hey, nigga, just fucking buy some land at this point and have a community and put on plays or something again. Or like, even if you have a theater room, like, go all out. Like, go out and make a big one and go out and make an intimate one. So like, the boom, like, god damn, do we gotta have so much noise all the time? But anywho, so I was whatever, like, I'm going off why I came on here. So I was actually like laughing at myself, just like thinking about like people were like rooting for the Browns and uh betting on them and like whatever. And I was just like having little jokes with myself, like, nigga, they bet like Cleveland been losing and so much shit on for so long, like. And then I'm like, these jokers was really would really bet on the Browns. Like, do they think that is that what helped them win? Like, if you bet on them enough, you put enough money on them, on their books. You put enough money on their books, that's what make it happen. Like, at the end, like, I was thinking about like the guys that I've known that have played professional football, like, and the ones that I may still talk to or don't talk to, or that used to talk to. Because shit, I mean, I'm from Cleveland. We, depending on what school you go to, you pushing out somebody like, nigga, we the entertainment capital. Although we ain't the cat, like, we one of them. We be pulling out all kind of entertainment, like. And I'm just like, this is where everybody is focusing they shit on. Is that how it work? Like, all right, well, if it's that easy to turn off the rest of the world simply by like turning off the TV and like the phone, then like, why we ain't doing that? But anywho, and also while I was thinking about that, I was just like, laughing at myself about like all the men that I've been like kind of dancing around or tapping into in my energetic field over here at some point or another during this damn time of like all of this. And I thought about so while I was thinking about winning, I was like laughing because then of course it went to like some other stuff, and then it went to like books, and then of course the Panthers, like different Panthers tapped in, and like different like music, like different entertainment, like all that shit was just like, it was like a big joke to myself. And then I was like, and no matter how much I like really checked into the Panthers, because I went through so many of their stories. Like when I got tapped in, like I went through so many different stories of like revolutionaries and um indigenous like tribal leaders and chiefs and fighting like slavery and like, or the captive or enslaved or whatever. Like, what do you mean they down here keeping people that's trying to get away? What do you mean they can't get away? Of course they can. Like, we right here. What they need to know? Like, they did what? Why my sister ain't called and tell us? Like, how they come in and they just, oh no, we don't play that shit. I don't know where they from, but we don't do that over here. Like, nigga, you can't just keep nobody hostage. Like, no, go tap their asses back. Tap, tap, tap. Like, boom. Okay, got that over with. Like, well, some of y'all went back. Like, all right, I don't. Maybe you might have to like rethink this. Like, so they threatened you and you went back. Well, what part do you think like they can pull off? Like, cause whatever you think they can do, maybe we can like counter that instead of like us keep losing our people coming back to get you. Like, you went back home. You went back for who? Like they ain't come the first time? I mean, if that's what make them feel better, like she came back. She coming back. She coming back. What? Why? Like, okay, so then like cause Harry ass be popping up. I be like, okay, like you the one they sent in for real. She like, cause my story is enough. Like, how many more they need to hear when they hear it from me? Like, and I'm like, well, it's all of them too. And yeah, and like, okay. Who is all of us over here too? Like, who was we? Oh, they just assumed that. Psh, nigga, what? Like, when we just start coming in like cuffing the cuffing it like that, like, oh my, I mean, it's a thing. Like, you could say that. You can just say like, no thanks, but it got to be an agreement. It got to be like you come down and now you want to do something over here because like I don't know. But anyway, so I was thinking about that and I was like, so then like Sada like had kicked in and I was just like, I would have followed like yeah, cause you wasn't the only one, but you popped the fuck up out like. So it could like the joke took me through like however it started, like and then like just gambling and just like hitting like the lottery and like the lotto and like all this other stuff. Just like all this stuff was just tumbling out, going through, and like I'm like, oh, I ain't making no bets. Like I need a max win. Yeah, and so just like it took that kind of whole thing to like streamline and like boom, 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 boom. But like it was funny because um when I thought about Asada, I thought about like she made it out of the prison. Like who the fuck about to keep me in here? Like nigga, you ain't see that I was waiting. Like I knew y'all niggas was man. Do y'all not see like how they came in like trying to dog walk the Panthers and I just say the Panthers because that's what everybody know. But there were many revolutionary groups. Like they ain't never stopped. Like I mean, I guess they did. Some of them did stop. Some of them was like, all right, well y'all can figure that shit out now later. Like not later now. Like what are y'all waiting for? Like I don't even know. And then like y'all come back and tell the story that like old boy tried to get y'all out and y'all let him get caught. How the hell y'all let them niggas get to him to like who telling these stories when they come back? Like, and I'm like, did y'all like slaughter them? Like, I don't know. But anywho, I was thinking about winning and shit. Like, because my indigenous ancestors, my indigenous blood, that shit be popping. Like, they be popping off like that warrior shit. I mean, the warrior queen. Oh, baby. Then he just like kissing me, like, no, you ain't even supposed to be out. Like, I mean, I know if I can't stop you, I gotta make sure that you the most protected and surrounded, and you gonna pop off how you want, and like, I would prefer your ass not. Like, man, fuck them niggas. Like, no, I don't get to lose my queen in this bullshit. Pop your ass out over there. Like, go sit down. I got this. We got it. Like, we got it. They don't got no. They don't really got that many women out there doing all that. Like, all right, because I'm out here. You just like, I seen Kadeen, and I probably came across this, but she had me balling. Oh my gosh, like sidebar. But I'm gonna come back to Asada because like I'm gonna come back to that. But like, and then probably just lead into it when well I don't know if that was 2020 or 2021 But it's always a bunch of murders happen. I don't even like they just happen. And like Kadeen was like on this episode, she was bawling like, oh, I just love her and Deval. Like I hold like such a cherished space for them, like as individuals and like as a collective, and then like as their entire family. Like, oh my gosh, like oh that power that flowed through them, like yeah. But in this episode, I think I talked about it before, how like she was just like crying, like she was just like devout, like he was going to the store to pick up the restaurant to pick up their food, and she was like, "Nigga, I'm going too." Like, and me understanding that, even if it was just me, because that's how I be about people that I love. Like, yeah, that anxiety. Like, if I ain't gonna get no phone call, like I need to be there and know what happened if something is to happen, and it ain't gonna happen because I'm there. Like, however you feel it as a woman, you just feel it as a woman or whatever it is. And she was just like, this shit is not like all the fighting that we've been doing and we still right here. Where is them? Like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't what? Like, where do I keep y'all safe? And probably this is me freestyling, but like work is here and like we have built a life that like essentially we love. And how much cushion do we really have if like you can go to the store and get pulled over for nothing, for real? Like I know you my man. Like, why the fuck, what the fuck would anybody be able to tell me about them stopping you and like you not making it home? Like, or fucking repeat like with the damn boys or mom or dad or shit, anybody that you fucking love that your heart is connected to. Like, and I think it was that might have been in the car, or maybe it was like maybe they put it like it all in the episode, or maybe it was like two times where I know that like when she was speaking and like with him being there too, like and allowing her moment, like it was so impactful. And I don't be watching. I won't watch. I don't watch none of it. I don't need to. I don't need to. You ain't gotta. I will turn. I will freaking. I don't have it coming on my timeline. Like, no, no. And that when it came through, and I actually like watched them. Like, I was like, this is why I don't, cause my ass was boiling, like boiling. But then I'm like on whatever was going through my mind, like however that came through, was just like I'm thinking about like how Asada got out of prison. Um, how I was so pissed because like in more recent years and one of the more recent presidents, and it was either between Obama or Trump. But then I can even say like, cause it was before them Bush, right? Like shit, there's been so many non. They all be whatever, but like one of them was like put out an order. Um, they were trying to get some refugees, some people like, well, they were trying to get political prisoners, quote unquote, from Cuba. Like they were trying to get negotiate the release, and that it was more than just a side. I think it was like eight or I don't know. It was like a so many number of people that they wanted. They were very specific in the amount and the names of like who they wanted to get. And Castro held firm on his negotiations of no, like essentially like what the fuck I look like giving y'all somebody who I told them they was gonna be safe. Like what I look like giving you a woman like that I offer my protection to, that I offer my home to, that I offer like No, you were about to throw her in the trash or whatever the story is, whatever the fuck y'all doing over there. Like, no, you can't do it to her. She got here fair and square. How? Nah, nigga. No, thank you. Like, whatever the fuck y'all offering, you can keep it. We doing all right. Essentially, like, and I remember when I was reading about it when it came across me at that time, I just remember being so pissed off. Like, oh, I remember being so angry and so emotional and so like feeling so disrespected. Like, nigga, y'all lost the battle. Leave her the fuck alone. Then like even trying to do the math in my head, like how old is Asada Shakur right now? So like the Panthers broke down their camp when like and I had to like run her story through like all the different Panthers that cause you know the stories be the stories and I'm like all right, so when did they camp? Like she was connected to who and on this like and like trying to run it down in my head just through like the connection side of it as far as I could off the top of my head. And I was just like, all right, what is happening around the political environment right now? What's happening like around the economic environment right now? What's happening around the money? Like, and I don't even remember who else was on the list because I probably glanced at it, but it was her that mattered to me. And I was like, why they trying to get her back like at this age? And I was just like, how old is she? Probably eventually, like how old is she essentially? Why the fuck do you trying to? Are you trying to keep your hands on her? And why is it got to be like a trade negotiation? Because I think they were like trying to negotiate like the trade lines, like or whatever. Because for a short minute, like Cuba was on the export ban list, like we wasn't exporting or importing, like whatever it was, like however they be trying the tariffs or whatever the yeah so like and like Cuban cigars and stuff like they were trying to tap Cuba for not being a bitch essentially and Cuba was like nigga they are cigars like you ain't gotta have them shit like we can smoke our own cigars like whatever it was and whatever pressure they was putting on Cuba like not to say that it ain't some stuff that could have been different, but like Cuba was holding firm even when they came back then, and like I don't remember the time, but like not too shortly after, Castro transitioned, if I'm correct, and I think his son took over leadership, and I think it was like rough for a minute. Like I think, and I don't even know his like I don't know his son or you know I really wasn't really looking for faces. If I was, it was like for a quick research. Um, but I just remember like it was a rough transition at first. Transition according to like the news, like the news, the international news or whatever was happening. At that time, and then like it felt like stuff got a little steady. Cause I done ran into some Cubans too. Like I've been yeah, I've been honored enough to break even though I can bear I can't remember them for real. I can't remember them at like all my memory be wiped away. But that one was gone. Like I barely remember it. Like when it came back up to me this time, I was like, oh yeah. I did rock out with some and break bread with some Cubans for a short period of time. Like on different levels as far as like conversation, family, like church, like I was interacting with some Cubans at some point in my life or yeah, so just like I ain't I ain't really like that. I remember just being real mad like why are they trying to get her at this point like and it was specific to her like I know it was other people on the list but it was like why they trying to get us out of Shakura right now like at this point in time and I was like trying to do the math on probably how old she was what she could really have I'm like huh and then I was like are they trying to like either way essentially you just try to put another hit out on her nigga like That's how it felt to me. Like y'all just put a hit out on her for no reason. Well, it definitely is a reason. It's a reason why y'all sniffing. It's a reason why y'all won't let her go. And I know we like to blame everything on like the current president, but y'all be acting like them niggas don't just like it ain't just a layup waiting to happen for the next person, whether it's just gonna be a slam dunk or like a it's gonna go into overtime or like it's gonna be a half court shot or a couple like throwaways or blocks or whatever, like, but they already got an agenda. Like, nigga, it's on the agenda. It's a business. Like the United States is a business. We just tapped into like they business meetings and like I mean, whatever is happening there is for they business structure. It's for the tech shit is for them. Like, and so y'all want to participate, y'all go participate. Like, nigga, please. You start having people saying no thanks, like that ain't the like, you can't do that and like holding buck on that shit. But don't nobody do that. We just be like, oh, I think I'm like, how many people we done fucking sent to law school? Like, what kind of I don't know. I've been playing with different types of Legos, like in my brain. Anywho, bet on black. They do. Black Jack, Queen of Spades, the Joker, the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Clubs, the Ace of Heart, the Ace of Diamond, black and red. That's all I was gonna say. I ain't staying on here long. Is that right? Is that everything? Let me see. I did the bedding, the Moses, the Asada piece. Oh yeah, 'cause it's technically just a continuation from the last part where I didn't finish. Oh yeah, I guess this can just go be ahead and be the part two because y'all know everybody don't be reading the description and sometimes like if I do a channel message and I'm like I'm not finishing it because I'm jumping around like if I can remember it enough time then I'll just like put it down in the description box. Um, but in my last video where I put in the description box and I was saying like I had worked at a store and the father, like what the son had told the father that he was from, I mean that he had fell in love with a black girl. Um, he his father told him that he was going to, oh no, that he couldn't like that was for fun like. But I was standing right there. Well, I worked at the store, so I was at the register. Probably wasn't supposed to hear them, or I don't know if I was supposed to hear or not. Like his father used to talk all kind of shit, like whatever. And Yeah, and like for whatever reason, well, I can guess so now. I guess like they ain't my cup of tea, but like the women used to let him. Like I mean, they used to deal with his ass however they dealt with it. However they dealt with him. I guess they felt like he was a trick, and I guess like he felt like the same or whatever. Like I don't know. I don't play in that field. I don't be playing them games. But he told his son like, "Nah, we could be played with. Like you can fuck her pretty much. Like you can fuck her. You can have sex. You can have fun. You can whatever. You don't fall in love. You don't marry them. Like nah, you got responsibilities back at home. Like you betrothed to somebody already." And I remember talking to the son like late, like it was a big blowout a couple times, like in the store. It was a big thing. Like it wasn't like he was just like, "What do you mean?" And just like I never was paying it any attention. I used to me and his son used to talk all the time. Like as far as like, I mean, he was the more likable one, with him, like dealing with him all the time. We wasn't too far off from the same age. I was like 16, 17. He was probably closer, like I don't know. At most, he was in his early 20s. Like I don't know. He was cool. He was cool. I ain't had no problem with him. And like I just remember being so sad for him at the time that his dad was just such a fucking jerk. Like all the time though. Like and I wasn't really focused on like I mean I grew up I was in at that point in time, especially I was in a all black neighborhood. They were the first one of the first families that I was like international families on that level, like wherever I don't even remember where they were from. Like I said, um that I was interacting with at that particular point, but like interacting in different customs and cultures didn't bother me. Like um and then there was like the representation of like Islamic people that they actually let inside of this country from other countries a lot of times. Um but I don't really know even what country they were from. Like but he used to be a bully. Like his father was a bully. His father was mentally like a mental like he was a bully. And I didn't think it was for a reason. Like he used to be talking about him being fat and stuff, and he used to be like, "You little short piece of midgety." Like mm-mm. And I just remember him talking about the women in my neighborhood like that, like and being mad. I remember being mad because I just was feeling like, nigga, who the fuck gets to talk to you? Like, I mean, why is anybody fucking you? Like, are you this like doggish in your face when it comes to them? Like, dang, shit. And like, it's black women that work in your store, but granny, like, you ain't trying to like, nigga, I ain't thought about letting you touch me at all. Like, that one never thought. Like, I don't think I was looking at either one of them for real. And like, his son was a sweetheart to me, and we were cool. And I feel like, cause I ain't thought about them either. Like, they stayed there on the street for a while, and like, I mean, on the corner, they had that store for a minute, and then I don't remember what happened. I think they end up moving or something. But like, cause I had quit. Well, I got fired, and then I got called. And then he called me, asked me back, and I said yeah, and then I quit simply because like shit, you fired me the first time. Of course, I was gonna quit again. I was gonna get my payback. Like, all right, because the first time he fired me, it was for like nothing. I guess he was trying to prove a point. I don't think it was nothing. I can't remember. It was too long ago. I was a teenager. And so when he asked me to come back, of course you're gonna ask me to come back. I'm a good worker. Like, My house was right there, and my school was like I was right there. It was a perfect job. And so I came back when he asked, like, I guess he was like teaching me a lesson. I knew he was. I knew he was trying to teach me a lesson about my mouth or whatever. Like, whatever the men be thinking they could talk to you any kind of way and you can't talk back to them. Like, shit. And so, and when he fired me or whatever, that was fine. Like, I still was going in there because I knew the girl and, like, it was around the corner of my street. And I knew, and I was cool. Just like, I ain't had no damn problem with nobody as much as I ain't have to have no problem with it. And so when he hired me back, I was like, all right. And I stayed over there and I worked for however long I worked and then I quit. Like when his ass got comfortable enough with me being working back at work, I quit. Yeah, cause no, you quit on me, I'ma quit on your ass back. And so we was I felt like we was even. I felt like we was even, but that was the continuation from the story from before, cause I know I didn't finish it. And I haven't unlocked that one either, even though I did do the live. I didn't unlock it yet because I dropped enough shit over the last couple days when I was just firing off. And I've been still firing off, just not recording everything. I mean, my brain, my thoughts be going anyway, but like I ain't been really recording it like I was, and so yeah, I just wanted to finish that.